Today's episode is brought to you by America World Adoption Agency. Your easiest next step to helping kids find homes is signing up for their email list in the description below.
Exhausting, expensive, burdensome, wearisome, troubling, annoying, gnawing, petty,
Jimmy, what are you
stressful.
describing?
Kelly, these are all words that my parents used to call me when I was a child.
Do not insult your parents.
And
That's not true.
And
Your parents might be listening right now. Apologize.
I have never recovered.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Oh my gosh.
To this day, at 40 years old, that was my full name. They would say that all 9 of those words, that was my full name. They would look at me in the face every morning when I woke up. They said that to my face. And I am the man I am today because of that name.
I don't know how you want me to respond to you right now. I got nothing to say.
I actually didn't even expect to say any of the things I just said. So they meant nothing. I meant nothing by that, Mom and Dad. I love you.
Thank you.
You're wonderful.
Thank you. It's not true.
You have probably only said half of those words about me, and they were probably in your bedroom by yourselves, not to my face, because you would never look at me and say that. You would only feel that about me in private.
Wow.
But segue. I think some of the words I have just said, oh mon frère, are words that represent how lots of parents do feel, not my parents, but parents writ large can feel about their progeny, a.k.a. their little ones, a.k.a. their children.
I don't actually think this is just a parent issue, though.
That's a parent.
You framed it. Wow. Focus. You're talking about it with parents, but I just think culturally, that's like how the culture sees children, is as an inconvenience and a burden. And whether you have children or not, that's informing your decisions in life.
Yes, pre-parents, post-parents. It is a bit of the air we breathe this day, and has been for probably the better part of 70 years. There's been a shift in our culture toward kids being seen as a weight, not a gift, as a burden, not a blessing. And so we wanted to do an episode to explore some of that from a biblical perspective, from a Christian worldview perspective, to just combat that. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but when you come to the scripture, that 9-word name that I said early on is not how the Bible's talking about kids at all.
Nope. It's only good. The Bible sees children as just unequivocally good, blessing. Blessed is the man. Can I read it?
Read it.
This is Psalm 127. Behold, the children are a gift of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. How blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be ashamed when they speak with their enemies in the gate. That's Psalm 127, 3-5. That's not how culture talks. Like, we don't see a family with like 10 kids and go, wow, how blessed is that guy? That's amazing. It's like, we don't look at that and go, how blessed is that man? He won't be ashamed, all of these things. If anything, culturally, we go, ooh, you okay, man?
Yeah, you're creepy van guy now.
You doing okay over there? What happened?
You gotta be creepy van
Do you
guy.
not, was this on purpose? Right, those are the questions that you get. I mean, even us having a 5th kid, there were a few people who were like, but
5 kids.
Was that on purpose? It's like, yeah.
So, I don't know where you are in your feels about kids, but maybe you're a parent and you feel sort of up to your eyeballs in all the stress that it is to be a parent. And this episode is not to say that parenting is not a stressful endeavor. It certainly is. But maybe you're feeling that. Maybe you are in a relationship. Maybe you're married. You're contemplating kids. And you're thinking, like many young couples I talked to today, even at our church, and you're contemplating it and going, oh man, but this is going to be, it's going to upend things, and it's going to be so hard, and children are, it's all negative words for you, and you feel that kind of in your insides. Wherever you fall on this, or maybe you're just you haven't done a lot of thought work on like how the Bible would speak about children, and you want to get firmer in that. This is an episode for you, because that's the thing that we're exploring today.
Right. Because we want to talk like the Bible talks, think like the Bible thinks. And that's something that's been a challenge for us, right? When children do feel burdensome sometimes, to go, wait a minute. The only way that this book talks about them is as if they were only blessing. That's it. So how do I let that infuse my thoughts, and how can I make sense of that? Which, as we get in, we're going to give you some reasons why this is true. But as we do, I also feel like we should just say, this is not an episode trying to convince you to have as many children as possible. Like the Bible, where the Bible doesn't make rules, we don't want to make rules and say, therefore, you should be 10 kid
Duggar it
person.
out.
Right? It's like, this is not an episode about how many and when and all of that. We're just talking about the Bible.
The posture.
Only sees children as gift, blessing, asset. That's it. That's the only way it sees them. How? Why? How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're asking. And so we want to give you some reasons for that.
5. Count them.
Are there
5
5
reasons.
reasons?
I think so.
5 reasons why this is true, that they are a blessing.
Children are a blessing,
All right.
not a burden.
Give us number
Ready
1.
to go. Oh, me. Okay.
you.
Children are a blessing, number 1. And some of these are going to feel obvious. Some are going to be like, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about this. This hopefully is an obvious one to you if you're a Christian. Children are a blessing and not a burden, because children, it turns out, this is crazy, I Googled it, they're image bearers. They are made in the image of the living God. Now, just contemplate this for a moment. Think about how, maybe you're a parent, think about how you even speak about your kids or just kids in general. The negative talk that we have around kids. Now, think about this. That child, just like every other human being, is a little image, a little self-portrait that God decided should exist in the world of him. That is an amazing thought. The theology of the Imago Dei, or the image of God, that man and woman are created in God's image, is an amazing thought.
Yep.
That God would want to fill the world with pictures of himself. And it turns out that kids, your kids, my kids, all kids,
Other people's kids,
yeah.
neighbor kids.
That's right.
This is
Dennis the Menace, all image bearers.
Yep.
And that means something. I think the thing that it means most is that when we're critical of children in our speech and thought life, we're actually bringing a bit of an indictment on God himself, because they are little God art everywhere.
Yeah.
And we don't want to belittle God's artwork.
Right.
Yeah.
Or treat them as subhuman, which sometimes we can tend to do because they're little, they're smaller than us, and they depend on us. And so sometimes we justify ways of treating children that aren't right because of that. But they're little. To call them an image bearer of the living God, helps elevate their value and their worth. That's maybe easy to do when a kid is obedient, but that's why it's like to spread this out broadly. I mean, you might be a teacher listening to this episode and going, all those kids in your classroom, that unruly kid, that one that really gives you our time. Yes, even that kid is an image bearer and is meant to be treated with honor and respect, even if they're causing problems. You know, it's like they are little pictures of God and have the potential to give God glory and worship if they repent and turn to him. And so we want to treat them as that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's reason number 1.
Number 2, Kelly, hit it.
Kids are a blessing and not a burden because they're a sanctification tool. Yay, sanctification.
Sanctification.
So like children do slow things down.
Well,
they are inconvenient and they are a problem, quote unquote, in your life, right? They
create problems.
They do.
Yes.
They knock over things and they create messes and they require training and they don't know how to tie their shoes and they require all of your help. And so
And they smoke Marlboros in the bathroom at night. And, all the things that kids do.
This is a reason why we tend to call them a burden or feel weighed down or like they're inconvenient, because in some ways they are. But what that is all doing is it's actually a tool God is using to shape me, to change me, to sanctify me. That it's immediately, children, when you have children in your life, who, no matter how patient you thought you were before, you will quickly get a reality check with a child in your life that you're actually not nearly as patient as you thought you were. And that's a good gift because it's alerting you to the fact that I'm actually not exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit like I thought I would. There are areas of growth for me. They're immediately exposing areas in my life that I need to be changed, shaped. I need to be sanctified. And that is a good gift. A lot of times what we do is go, if this kid wasn't in my life, I wouldn't be this way. It's like, no, you are that way. They just helped you see it. And now you can take all that impatience, all that anger, all that lack of love or forgiveness or obsession with work that these kids aren't letting you get done or whatever is being exposed in you. I can now take all that to God.
Yep.
Go, Father, would you change me? They've now become a wonderful gift for me to expose what's broken, come to God for change and transformation. And I'm now getting changed from one degree of glory to the next, like Paul talks about in 2 Corinthians 3, because of these kids he's put in my life. They're exposing something and changing me.
And if you're a Christian, that means you're somebody who's saying, hey, the highest good in this life for me is to be increasingly conformed into the image of my Savior, looking more and more like my Savior Jesus. Mm-hmm. If we're saying that is like the great aim of the Christian life, then anything that helps produce that in me is a good.
It's me.
Which means every hard thing in my life that God brings my way, that God is using for my sanctification, is ultimately working for my good, and therefore should be we should find gratitude to God for it, because I want to look more like Jesus. I want that. So if you want to look more like Jesus, your kids are going to help you do that.
Yep.
So you should thank God for your kids.
Yep.
Because kids are awesome.
James 1:27 says that true religion is caring for the orphan and the widow in their distress. But for most of us, we have no clue how to get started on such a huge command in the scriptures. Well, I've got the easiest next step for you. Sign up for America World's email list in the description below. Partnering with an adoption agency that you can trust and following Scripture's command to care for the most vulnerable is a great way to begin to get involved. Not everybody's called to adopt. Not all of us will adopt, but all of us are called to do something. And taking a next step to just get on America World's email list is a great step in moving in that direction and finding out ways that you can be a part of caring for orphans around the world. If that's just through prayer, through service, through giving, get on their email list. It's a really easy next step in walking this out today.
Number three. Am I saying? I'm saying it.
I guess we're alternating,
Kids.
so I guess it's your turn.
Oh, this is so cute. I'll go. Let me go, babe. Let me go. I'm going to go. Kids are free labor.
Before you write us an email, explain yourself, Jimmy.
I mean, they do stuff for you. It's awesome. You kidding me? I got 5 kids. I haven't washed my own clothes in 13 years. It's amazing.
You haven't washed your own clothes because I wash your clothes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so many jokes. Not going to say any of them because I'll get in trouble.
We do sometimes call them our minions. We're like,
we call them Arminians?
Minions.
Oh, our minions, not Arminians. It's like, I thought we're Calvinists. What is happening? All right.
But it's true.
Oh, yeah. So look, we don't mean it pejoratively. And we're not breaking child labor laws over here. We're just saying until the modern era, here is how every human culture, every family in the world thought about kids. If I have a lot of them, I'll have a lot of folks helping me with the mission.
That's right.
Helping me with the chores, helping me with the housework, helping me with the family business. You remember, I mean, like, until the Industrial Revolution, every business was a family business.
Yep.
You had like the kings and the government and all that, and then you had folks shucking corn and plowing. What do you plow? I don't know. You plow corn? I don't know because all I know is the Industrial Revolution. Okay? I don't even know what to do with corn. But if I had corn, I would want lots of kids to shuck it. That's my point.
Oh my gosh.
Kids are made to shuck. And I've always said this, okay. Why don't you take it?
Yeah, thank you. Can we move on from this analogy? To bring it to bear on a more modern example, we do a Halloween outreach every year where we're getting a chance to reach, like this year it was like 2,000 people who came through our neighborhood that we got a chance to offer prayer to and show generosity to, right? All of that. So that's a lot of work. And our kids now, as they've gotten older, we are just going, hey, I need you. Do you see this big thing we're about to do? We can't do it on our own. You're going to help us. And so we have kids who are sorting candy, moving prayer requests from our prayer box to our prayer room. Like they have jobs to do and they like it. They love being a part of that. Or when we were touring together, we would often go, well, as soon as our kids are old enough, they're going to run the merch table. Not me, because I have, so it's like you give them jobs and they want the jobs. When they're really young, they're eager to help, and we usually feel frustrated by that. Like we have a 3-year-old who's like, I want to help do this, and you're like, well, you can't really. But it's like it's built into the kids to go, what are mom and dad
What's the
doing?
family business?
I want to be a part. I want to help, and they become extra hands and feet. Now the temptation in our modern era is to take all of our energy and pour it into them to help them thrive in their little worlds of all their extracurriculars and all their things they're going to do. And that's actually kind of backward. It's like, no, I want to pull you out from where you are into our world and what God has called us to do. Ooh. You're going to come alongside us and help us do this, which actually invites them into something so much more satisfying, because no one is satisfied by a self-centered life, and we all know that by experience. So instead, we're inviting them to this bigger thing that God has called the family to do, and go, let's go do this together. But it also relieves us of work. It's like, great, we now have help in this mission, and it's not just in like missional things like Halloween. It is in home stuff. It's like, I asked a big family, a mom who had more kids than me, and I was like, all right, we're on that track. We got a lot of kids. You tell me how it's working for your family. And she said, as soon as our kids turn 8, I teach them how to do their own laundry. And I remember being like, what? They can do that? And she's like, well, you're teaching them how to operate the machines. It's a few buttons, and how much soap to put in. I was like, I could do that. It was permission to start entrusting our kids with more at a younger age. And I even know, right, that's helping them. Yeah. That's giving them good skills for the rest of their life. So it's not just those big external missional things. It's within your own family household and going, yeah, it's a hard shift as a parent sometimes to finish dinner and not just clean up yourselves, but go, hey kids, you're going to do this. I need you to help me do these things.
There is a boba tea shop by our house, and occasionally I frequent there. Can you occasionally frequent somewhere?
That don't make no sense.
I don't know.
And when I go to check out, it's always the same scene. There is an 85-year-old grandmother sitting in the corner with a newspaper. I didn't even know they make newspapers anymore. And there's an 8-year-old boy at the counter talking to me like he's 45. Go, okay, now what flavors do you want in this? Okay, with tax, that will be. And I'm like, what? I want, you're amazing.
That's awesome.
Like, kids are capable of a lot.
Capable.
That kid is getting so much, while his grandmother's asleep in the corner, he's getting so much experience. Are you kidding me? And just grown up life, what it means to like be responsible.
Right, so it's good for that.
That's baked into what child rearing is and should be. So it's a good thing. Free labor. Yes. Shuck some corn, kids. Okay.
Put your kids to work. That's what we're saying.
If that wasn't offensive, how about this next one? Number 4. Okay, you ready?
Let's hear it.
Fourth reason.
Oh, we are going to offend with this one. Is this my turn?
Kids, let me say it.
You gotta say it.
I'll say it so that, when
people get mad, you can write to
comes, Jimmy. They can just say I said it. Kids are a retirement plan. Now, hear me out, ladies and gentlemen, because this isn't old Jimmy talking. No.
Old Jimmy.
Mary. This is old Paul. Okay? This is Saul of Tarsus.
Let's hear it.
So First Timothy, he's writing to Timothy, and he is talking about the church, and he's talking about the family. And here's what he says in chapter 5, verse 4. He says, "But if a widow has children or grandchildren," so he's given sort of laws about widows. Okay. "But if a widow has children or grandchildren, the children or grandchildren, should learn first to show godliness to their own household and to make some return to their parents, for this is pleasing in the sight of God." So he's trying to identify who are the widows the church should help and who are the widows the church shouldn't help. By the way, there is a difference. We did an episode on that back in the day. You're welcome to
We'll
watch
link it in the show notes.
But he's going, hey, if there's a widow out there who's got able-bodied children or grandchildren, those kids should actually be the ones to be helping, because they should learn to show, or to first show godliness to their own household and to make some return to their parents, for this is pleasing in the sight of God. So this apostle is speaking authoritatively in this letter and in the word to us, and he is telling us something about how the household should work. Children and grandchildren should show God. It displays godliness to the household to make a return to their parents. Now, this is so, if you're in the West, and especially in America, this is so paradigm breaking, because what we do, I'm just going to be candid for a moment, what we do with all our elderly people these days is we just ship them off to a place and, never to be seen from again. And that model is virtually unheard of in history or in most cultures around the world.
Which, to just say the caveat, there are reasons, and there can be really good godly reasons for your parents or grandparents being a care facility.
I'm not
And
saying
he's not saying that. But
I'm saying the model that goes, I personally am not going to be the primary caregiver for this person's. That is a new concept in Western civilization. Yes. That is almost never been the case. It's never been the case, and it's almost not the case anywhere else except the West. Most cultures bring the family into the house, and they run that play with the elderly members of the family. Now, again,
which
you're
happened
right.
in your upbringing.
That's right. My great grandmother lived with us when I was a kid. When she was in her later dying years, she just lived with us. She didn't speak English. I don't know what she ever said to me. It was probably, I don't know. There was a lot of yelling. I don't know. Maybe she was, I don't know. I'm going to assume she was saying something nice, but like in a yelly kind of way. But so yeah, there's value to other models, but we're just saying that however it goes.
There's an assumed norm in the scriptures.
That's
that
right.
Children would step up and bring a return in the sense that you're recognizing your parents invested a lot in you to raise you and train you and bring you into adulthood,
That's right.
And that's a huge investment they made in you. And so now when they need you, it's not your time to go, I'm too busy for that. It's your time to step in and care for them.
Yes.
And be a support to them in whatever ways that they might need. May that be financial, physical, actual caregiving. That could be any number of things. And that's a weighty responsibility, because that's not like having children, right? It feels inconvenient. Those moments your parents may need help is probably not going to feel like good timing. But we're meant to step into those roles. And it's often why in previous generations, having a lot of kids is a blessing, right? Because you're going, that responsibility isn't falling all on one individual child. There's multiple children, if you're able to have them, who can help share the weight of that and be provision for you and be there for you when you need it. That the retirement plan isn't, I'm going to just save up and take care of myself. It's, I'm kind of banking on the fact that we're a family and we're going to take care of each other. And the more people that are in the family, the more people who can help do that.
That's right.
Which is a very foreign concept, but is biblical.
That's right.
And is one of the reasons that they're a good gift. When we think about it, we're like, yeah, we got 5 of those kids. You're going to have to take care of us one day.
Yep. Somebody better be a doctor. I don't know. I don't know. Hit us with the last one. Number 5.
Last one. Why are children only blessing? They're not burden. Okay. Children are blessing because kids are future world changers. I mean, do we not all have this deep desire to leave a mark on the world, to impact the world, to change the world? Like that's kind of in us, right? And our instinct is to play the short game. To go, I'm going to get this job, I'm going to do this thing. I'm not saying that those things are wrong, but to invest in the life of a child is a long-term investment that you will not see that return for a long time. But it is a very potent and powerful investment because you're shaping, here's how I've thought about it before, especially in the years when Jimmy was touring and I was at home. In those early years of parenting, we had 2 girls real close together. And so here I have like a couple toddlers, and he's literally on stage just telling people about Jesus, sharing the gospel. People are getting saved. It feels like that's the world-changing impact. And I would really struggle with that because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm doing dishes and making lunches and trying to discipline these children, right? I had this one moment with one of our girls when I think they were like 3 or 4. And I remember I pulled her into the hallway to get away from her sister. They were having some kind of conflict. And I'm talking to her and I'm, I don't know what it was, counsel or something. And I had this thought, man, if she can catch on to this concept I'm teaching her about conflict resolution, I just started to think about all the people in her life that she's going to interact with for her whole life, the hundreds and thousands of people she's going to interact with. Mm-hmm. And my shaping of her in this moment and how she deals with conflict has the potential to impact a room of tens, hundreds of thousands, just like I'm seeing my husband doing, right? I'm not trying to say that's not helpful, but I just was wrestling with how is this changing anything? And I've just had to use my imagination more sometimes in those private moments and investing in the life of children to go, I may not see it now, but this little investment right now to shape this person has the potential to impact so many things and so many people. I think that's why Psalm 127 calls them arrows in the hand of a warrior. They're an offensive weapon in the battle, that if we take the time to invest in them, it is like sending weapons out into the world. And that's the opportunity you get with a child, is you get this chance to frame their entire way of seeing the world and seeing themselves and seeing God, and then send them out into it. It's funny because people will say to us a lot, and as they're thinking about, should we have kids? Should we not? How could I bring a kid into this world? That's like a frequent question.
I heard that last week.
That I hear, yeah. I'm like, if you're concerned about our world, I'm like, have more kids. Isn't the answer then not to not have them, but to go, if you see problems, then like raise up a new generation. And I don't think that this applies just to parents. I mean, there's probably, whether you're a parent or not, there's kids that are probably in your life that you have the ability to invest in and pour into, whether that's in your work or within your extended family or within your church. I had a Sunday school teacher in my junior high years who, at the most curious time in my faith, I'm reading my Bible on my own for the first time. I don't have parents that I can ask those questions to. And so here I come to Sunday school with all these questions. And this Sunday school teacher, who's not my mom, she had kids of her own, she took the time to sit with me after Sunday school's over. She was late to service herself to answer all of my questions and just poured fuel on this fire of faith that was growing in me. Yep. And I am who I am today because of Tony Peeler's investment. Miss Peeler, my Sunday school teacher, who stayed in my life even through my high school years. So even if you don't have children of your own, those investments are shaping children who then become influences in the world around them for decades and decades of their lives. And so they're future world changers. It's just a long-term investment.
That's exactly right.
In world changing. So that's our encouragement to you. The children, any temptation we feel to see them as inconvenient, the Bible is going to confront us over and over again and say, you're not allowed to think about them that way. I mean, really, that's how we talk sometimes. I'm not allowed to think about them that way. The Bible does not give me freedom to do so. So I've got to change. how I see this moment of feeling
Yeah,
the burden.
that's right. They
You know,
are.
It's not.
Yes, there is burden to the thing called parenting. That is true. But your child and all children are not themselves a burden. They are a blessing. And God has given us this vision of them for a reason. So lean into it. Be encouraged. Preach to yourself truer things, mom and dad, when you're wrestling with these things. Tell yourself the truth. And these are 5 truths that can help you down the road in that. So hope that's helpful to you.
Yes. And if you have questions from this episode, you're like, wait a minute, that's bringing up new questions about, whatever related tangential thing. We'd love to hear it. What's our email?
I don't know, Kelly.
Yes, you do. I say it all the time.
Question at clearlypodcast.com?
He got it right. That's
Nailed
right.
it.
Yes. Send us a question. We do respond. We respond to those emails, and we'd love to connect you with resources or other episodes that we've done.
You can also put questions in the comment section below. You can totes do all that. Speaking of comment section, why don't you go ahead and take that little finger of yours and press the subscribe button right over there, or maybe bring it over to that little heart-shaped thing and hit that guy.
Why do I always hate having to say that?
And then find that little share button. And then once you find one of your friends, why don't you find a child to send this to? No, that's weird. Why don't you find somebody who knows a child? Wait, find
Wait a minute.
someone who's a child at heart. I don't know. It's not important. What's important is we're glad that you
I don't
tuned
know.
in. We are making this content only because we have wonderful folks like the folks we're getting to look at right now. We film before a live Zoom audience, our Clearly partners. We get to make these episodes because of them. And we would love for you to be one of those partners. So you get so many cool perks. If you join the team, you can head on over to patreon.com and search for Jimmy and Kelly Needham and become one of our partners and join us for these live. We just did a ice cream party before this episode. No lie,
true.
with our team, and I am 100 pounds heavier because of it.
And then I got our
happy.
tiny minions, our free labor kids, to come and clean up after us.
Probably shouldn't call them minions. We definitely shouldn't call them our minions.
Sorry that you misheard me.
Well, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'll go ask them about their theology after this.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We love you.
See you next time.
See ya.